Hi, Siri. I'm looking for a new podcast, one that preferably is hosted by a UF Hall of Famer, one that airs every weekday that would bring me everything I need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions. Siri, is there such a show?
Have you heard of PodUp with Matthews in the morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or any podcast platform?
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? UF Hall of Famer Shane Matthews has a show every weekday. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow. Thanks, Siri.
Good morning. It's a hump day edition. It is PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. We got JC today, and then you just have me for the rest of the show, breaking down or trying to get to a bunch of text and comments and all that stuff. Baseball season's winding out. I think some teams clinched last night. Hope everybody that's in the way of this hurricane has hunkered down or got out of town. Doesn't look like Gainesville's going to get much as of now. So let's go to the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. JC, good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you, QB?
I'm good.
Doing all right. Yeah. I mean, I'm always concerned about weather events, but I think this one might be heading west. It's a bigger one, though, and we're going to get a lot of wind, I think, maybe an inch or two of rain. I think we can handle it, but you got to think about those folks in Tallahassee, and then everyone inland, apparently, is in danger of flooding and this kind of thing because of the enormity of this storm. So I don't think college football is going to be affected whatsoever. I don't. This is a fast mover. And by Saturday, most of the places like Tuscaloosa and
I don't even think they're going to be even. I mean, they may get a little bit of rain tomorrow. I mean,
no,
Friday.
It's all going to be gone. Yeah, it's all going to be gone. I think everything is fine. You know, QB, I was looking the other day, and let me just give you a list, a short list of some of the undefeated teams in college football. This is kind of a cool list. Now, I'm not going to include teams like Alabama and Georgia. But check out this list of undefeateds. You got Army, you got Navy, you got Rutgers, you got Liberty and BYU, you've got Duke, you've got JMU, Vegas, UNLV, Illinois, and these guys, the Fighting Hoosiers of Indiana.
Do you know who their coach is, JC? I'm just curious.
For Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Kurt Cignetti.
Yeah, where'd he come from?
Kirk Cignetti came from JMU.
Okay, just making sure that you knew all this.
But JMU is also one of those still undefeated teams. They have football there, man. It's really great. They really did a number on North Carolina last weekend, as we all know.
Yeah, they did for sure. Joseph said, "Ain't no hurricane gonna stop us Taylor County boys watching PodUp." Yeah, Taylor County.
There you go. Perry.
Taylor County folks need to probably get out of town.
Yeah, stay off the coastline there, my man. Yeah, stay off the coastline.
All right, so Marshall's what?
I was just saying, I just feel awful for Steinhatchee, Cedar Key.
Yeah.
10-foot storm surges are not survivable. 10, 15 feet storm surges, you have to leave. That's all there is to it. Yeah.
Marshall says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. So it's clear. Bill Belichick is the interim head coach to bring toughness. His protege, Brandon Spikes, to bring energy to recruiting current and incoming the Gator way. What do you think about that, JC?
Well, I love the idea of Brandon Spikes, man.
He's already on the staff.
I know. Well, he needs a guy that can actually lead the team in a more, I'd say, in a more, I don't want to say forceful, but a more lead in a way that demonstrates better leadership, in my opinion. When you have 10,000 people on your staff, you got too many cooks in the kitchen over there. I don't know why all these people are on the payroll. We've talked about it before. This is just too much. And I like Brandon Spikes. I'm a Brandon Spikes kind of guy, man. I want to see those guys lead the team. Those are the kind of players. And, speaking of Bill Belichick, there's a guy that should have hired him named Jerry Jones. He blew it when he left. He missed.
That's another one of your teams that's struggling.
Yeah, they suck, man. They're so bad. And everybody wants to talk about their defense, QB. Their offense is the reason why they're deep. Have you ever noticed how quarterbacks the quarterback play really does influence how defenses sometimes play in games. And I think the Washington game the other night was a great example of that. Now, I know that Cincinnati scored a lot of points, but you could just tell that the Washington Commanders, their defense was so much more active, and I just thought they fed off what Jaden Daniels was able to do. And I've got a theory about Jaden Daniels. I don't know if you want to hear it, but I have a theory about Jaden Daniels, why he's so good.
Well, let's hear your theory.
My theory is that he played 55 games in college. Now, I'll compare that to, say, Caleb Williams, who played about 30. So he played almost 20 to 25 games more college games as a starter. He spent his beginning career with Herm Edwards in the more traditional drop back type of offense, and learned the position with a guy who's an all-time NFL type player. And I think the issue is in the college and NFL games, wide receivers get open pretty much the same way. The difference is that in the NFL, they don't stay open, which means the ball has to get there sooner. And that comes to the theory of anticipation. And Jaden Daniels has that currently. Now, that's not to say Caleb Williams won't, or guys.
Caleb Williams has it, JC. What games are you watching?
Maybe he does, but he hasn't done it so far after 3 games in the NFL with the Bears.
He's played well enough for him to win games.
But I just think Jaden Daniels right now is showing us a different level of quarterback play for a guy that's played 3 times in the NFL. Bryce Young doesn't see things that Jaden Daniels sees. And I think anticipation is the biggest thing. And
you obviously have not listened to this show for the last 10 years.
What do you mean I haven't listened to it? What are you talking about?
What did I tell you? One of the most important attributes of playing the position is.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not I understand that. But my theory is that Jaden Daniels got it right now. Guys like Bryce Young don't see it. And you saw what Andy Dalton was able to do for Carolina. He showed Bryce Young, this is how you play this position, because he's been doing it for, 8 years in the NFL?
Yeah,
now,
but I was surprised, and I'm not giving up on Bryce Young, but I thought he was a great at anticipating, and he knew where to go with it. He just I don't know.
He doesn't know things are open the way Jaden Daniels knows.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, look at it like this: when the defensive back's back is turned to you like this, and Sean Payton, Drew Brees did this great too. It's like he doesn't know that guy is open, and when the ball is on the way, the defender doesn't know where it's going, and the offensive guy has the ability to pick it up and a lot faster. And Bryce Young, guys like this right now, are having trouble figuring out at the speed of this game and things that are open that they don't know are open. I think Jaden Daniels, with all his experience, 55 games in college, I think that does matter. I think Bo Nix has helped him too, because he's played a lot more games in college.
But he struggled. I mean, he played decent against the Bucs, but most of it was him running around. Look, I clearly think the best quarterbacks in this draft are Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, and nobody's even close to them.
Well, Sean Payton thinks Bo Nix is pretty damn.
Well, that's fine. He can think it, but I need to see.
I'll go with
they
that.
won 1 game.
I get it, but he had a tremendous year at Oregon, and it's coming from experience, dude. I think it does matter. Reps matter. And I think
yes
when
and no.
When they see,
you can have bad reps too.
Well, but look at Richardson. Richardson hasn't had nearly the experience and nearly the amount of time and nearly the reps. And I know you say he is who he is, but he has not had nearly the amount of experience.
Who?
Anthony Richardson. He hasn't had.
JC, I can tell immediately.
Yeah.
Within 2 to 3 games of how a guy is going to play, because you either have the instincts of how to play it, or you don't. You cannot learn it. You can't learn it.
I think Jaden Daniels, when he was at Arizona State or when he started at LSU, wasn't nearly the player he is today. And I think
I don't think anybody 6 or 7 years ago, the experience is going to help you.
Absolutely.
But you still can tell if guys have instincts or not.
Right. But in this league, in the NFL, what you think is not open is open. And I don't think guys like Bryce Young have picked that up just yet. Now, I just don't think that. Caleb Williams is a great quarterback. He'll be fine with the Bears, but Jaden Daniels is picking it up faster than he is. All you had to do is watch the game last week with the Bears. He didn't know things that
he threw for like 360 something yards.
No, he didn't throw for 360 yards.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Well,
yes. He threw for well over 300. Maybe not at 360, but it was well over 300 yards.
Okay. Well, I'm right now. I'm thinking Daniels was the best pick in the draft.
Well, I mean, that's easy to say when the way he's playing, but But again, I can tell you after watching a guy play 2 or 3 games if he can play or not. That I don't care if he's played 25 years or 2 games. You know if a guy has the feel of how to play or not.
QB, start watching these games because you're dead wrong. Caleb Williams threw for 174 yards. He did not.
No, he didn't. I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
1,000? You want to bet me 1,000?
$1,000
on the Bears Houston game? I'll bet you $1,000 right now. You owe me $1,000.
Bears didn't play Houston the other day.
I said the Bears when they played the Houston Texans. Oh, he had no concept.
Well, his last we're sitting here arguing about something that's just absolutely stupid.
It's stupid because I'm trying to make a freaking point and you won't let me. You're sitting there.
No, the point you're making makes no sense because I'm telling you. It makes all the
sense in the world. What are you talking about? You know who made this point before me?
Who?
Rick Neuheisel. You go tell him.
I don't give a damn what Rick Neuheisel said. I'm giving you my opinion.
Well, I'm giving you something that
my opinion is that Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels will be the best players out of this draft. It's that simple.
Okay.
But he threw for over 300 yards in the game he played the other day.
Go ahead. That's fine.
All right, folks, I'm going to tell you about Core Power. Get you some Core Power. New sponsor, high protein milkshake. JC probably needs this since he's a big workout guy now. But go check it out. Good stuff.
I'm about to be.
I'm going to have another drink right now, my way. Tracy, you need to calm down. You need to quit listening to all these other people and make up your own opinions.
I am, but I'm learning from what I hear, and I believe what I see. And what I see is that Jaden Daniels.
He's not telling you anything I have not told you on this show.
Well, you haven't said much about Jaden Daniels at all
because I don't really care about the NFL quarterbacks right now.
We're not playing a game this week, QB. There's no game on Saturday. Okay, we can kind of relax on this 2-2 team for about 30 seconds, if it's all right.
Well, I didn't want to talk about them. I was going to talk about other stuff.
All right,
but you wanted to go into what you heard and you're repeating that Rick Neuheisel said.
I think he's right though, and that's right.
Okay, but Caleb Williams has played well. Has played really well.
Okay. Well, he had a better game against the Colts than he did against the Texans. I'll give you that. Yeah. But they scored 16 points. I mean,
that's not. I mean, look, that doesn't mean anything.
It does. It means
they lost the game.
Yeah, 16's not going to win it for you.
Well, maybe he had a couple balls dropped in the end zone. Maybe they were on the 1-yard line one time and they handed it to the running back that lost 6 yards. I did see that. Okay. So I'm not worried about it. I just know that those two are damn good players.
I get it. And I'm not trying to say that one is better than the other. I just think right now one has picked it up faster than the other.
Well, but you're going on 3 games. I mean, talk to me after they play 8 games.
Okay. We'll come back after the 8th game and see how we do.
Yeah. All right. So I got to get to some of these Facebook Lives.
Go ahead.
After you wasted half your day listening to Sirius Radio.
I think it's good stuff.
I couldn't think of anything worse.
Well, when you're driving around, dude, I don't need to hear Morgan Wallen. I've done enough of that. I need to.
Well, you need to. It will help you in your life, JC. Relax and not worry about dumb crap going on in the world.
Dumb crap. I'm just talking about Jaden freaking Daniels, who's unbelievable. That's what he's really good. I mean, he's good. I gave you a list of 10 undefeated teams that you never would think would be undefeated, even this early in the season.
Well, you know who Navy beat to stay undefeated, right?
They beat up on Memphis.
Yes. Navy is not the same Navy. They run a different offense now.
They are really, really more fun to watch. They had 35,000 fans in their game against Memphis. 35,000 fans at the game in Annapolis. And I have a very good, close personal friend who was a Navy guy, and he says that's a lot of people in their ballpark, as you call it. So that's good to see. I think the Army Navy game this year could be really exciting, and one of them is going to beat. Well, I think both of them will beat Air Force. QB, how about the Mountain West moving over and becoming the Pac-12 right now? There's 7 teams that the Pac-12 has poached. Well, there's 5 teams that they've poached out of the Mountain West. What's the point of that? Why is that happening? Got any idea?
Well, it gives those teams an opportunity to get into the playoffs. Not saying they will, but
maybe their TV contracts will be better and the Pac-12 brand can be sold again. Because right now, I don't think the Pac-12 is a Power 5 conference. It's not.
No, but they're trying to become back to being.
That's right.
A power. All right. Andy asks, is there a need to recalibrate Joe Burrow's greatness? Absolutely not. I think he's phenomenal.
Well, I mean, he is.
It's fans, right? Fandom, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
Fans, they go game by game, right?
I don't think the Pac-12. Yeah,
I just look at the body of work and how the guy plays. I think Joe Burrow is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Whether I'm right or wrong, that's my opinion. I think he's outstanding.
well,
Just because they're 0-3 doesn't mean he's not a damn good player.
He was in the Super Bowl, what, 3 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
They almost won it. Probably easily could have. But yeah, I mean, the guy went to the Super Bowl. Listen, they are built to beat the Chiefs, and they should have. If it weren't for a PI call that the Chiefs always seem to go their way, either for or against at the end of games. Tell me why that is, QB. Why do the Chiefs get these calls at the end of the game? It just seems to me Kansas City.
They did get a call, but it's no different than calls that Alabama got for 22 years. Okay.
There he goes. No.
That's a fact. I guarantee you the text lines will blow up right now because let's be honest, Alabama went like 10 years without getting a holding call or something. It was crazy. But here's the thing. It was that interference, possibly, but they also gave the Atlanta Falcons a touchdown. It became a touchdown drive because they called a BS pass, roughing the passer on Chris Jones. He didn't even hardly even hit the quarterback. He touched him. So it goes both ways. I don't get into the whole
QB. It just seems KC gets these calls. They got it in the Super Bowl against the Eagles.
It's no different than when Michael Jordan used to get the calls, right?
Well,
the best player in America.
Listen, I understand that
Mahomes, best player in the world is going to get the calls.
He is, but it's just look, Philadelphia, they got screwed in the Super Bowl on that terrible call. You know it, I know it. The Bengals got screwed, I think, on the PI call. I guess if you're going to use that definition in the first game of this or second game of the season this year. And here we are with the Falcons.
That was not even close to being pass interference.
Which one? The Falcons game?
No. I'm saying in the Bengals game,
yeah,
that was clearly pass interference.
Well, if that definition of pass interference is used, it should have been used, and it should have been. All I'm saying is it would have been first down and goal to go on the 1 yard line with 4 minutes.
Well, we're not going to sit here and talk about officiating because you can call a penalty on every play.
Like the Chiefs get a lot of calls. That's all.
That's fine. I'm surprised you don't have a Chiefs hat on that. All right, John Terrell says on Facebook, I brought you by Mel. UNLV QB is opting out due to NIL commitments not being met. Interesting. I did not know that. Kemp says, what about Trevor Lawrence? They are 0-3 also. I haven't watched them play this year, but what's going on with the Cats and Duval? They're a bad football team. It's not just the quarterback. The Jaguars.
Yeah.
They're a bad football team.
Frank was on the other day with you, and he said they really weren't bad. They're better than the record. But that game against Buffalo, they just quit. That was give up city. And Josh Allen, isn't it amazing? Think about where Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence were in college and the polar opposite worlds that they lived in and played in. And now how that's almost flipped in the NFL.
Wow. Robert says here the UNLV QB walked out, man. They're 3-0 and he walked out he's not on the team anymore. Wow. I got to look into that.
Wow. That's too bad because they're 3-0 now. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but they obviously not paying him. He's not getting his check.
So he said, I'm out. Well, I don't know who's going to give him a check. You ought to keep playing because he's got teammates and coaches and he's got an opportunity to do something special. Why is he walking out?
That's the way of the world today, JC. It's all about there's no loyalty, there's no money.
It's too bad. They got a real shot for that group of 5 spot in the playoffs, QB. He can get money. Money will come his way if he stays with the program.
Well, it's happening a lot around the country. I'm surprised we haven't heard more about this, that these guys, they get paid weekly or every 2 weeks, JC.
Yeah.
And, they have a contract that they're signed and they're not getting their money.
Irby says we are like 2 old women arguing.
Yeah. Let me tell you about one of our new sponsors that are on the program. I get so many damn texts. I can't keep up. Florida Cracker, the brand for original Floridians. Great food and Southern hospitality in the center of the universe. Brooksville, Florida. FloridaCracker.com.
Florida Cracker.
Good place. Tom says, what do you think about Nick Saban's comments about our late getting facilities and his comments on administration like Foley and Boosters not updating facilities? Tom, if you have listened to me for the last 15 years on my shows, Steve Russell shows,
well, maybe
I have been raising hell about facilities.
Yeah, I mean,
and we were the last in the conference to get them, and it was a problem. No, I don't care what anybody tells you. They can say this, that, and the other. It was a problem.
It was a problem. Will Muschamp begged for them to get an indoor practice facility. They told him to go to the O-Dome, go to the basketball arena, shut up. That's what they said. I mean,
Tony wants to know on Facebook Live, what are you getting Trask as a wedding gift? Is Trask getting married? I didn't even know he had a girlfriend.
I don't know. Trask, that poor guy. It's funny how folks just kind of disappear. He just doesn't play football. He doesn't play.
Because Baker Mayfield's playing in front of him.
I know.
That's why.
It was Tom Brady before that.
Well, he's getting paid.
Well, he is. And that's, I guess, a good thing for old Kyle, at least for now. Yeah.
All right, let me get to some of the Titan MR text line.
Okay.
This is.
I love how you equivocate holding with pass interference. That's funny how you do that. I mean, they hold on every play, QB. There's not pass interference.
There's pass interference on every play. Watch the DBs, JC, since you now have the all 22 of all these games, I guess. Watch the DBs when they're in press coverage, and you tell me if you don't have holding or pass interference on every stinking play of football. All right. This is somebody says, I agree completely with you that the defense is terrible, especially at D-line, but this freaking University of Florida, I truly believe there's talent on this roster, maybe not elite defensive talent, but enough talent to be an above average defense. I believe it's a combination of coaching scheme and player development. Your thoughts? I sound like a broken record. We've had 4 different defensive coordinators, 3 under Billy, 1 under Urban Meyer, and we've been historically bad in all 4 years. Same players, different coaches. I don't know what the answer is.
Historic.
No idea.
It's historic. It is historic. Mississippi State, we all saw the Gators win pretty easily. We all felt the Gators watching that game would win the game, but Mississippi State did things that you didn't like. They ran the ball right through those middle gaps, and they scored 28 points? Could have been 35. I don't know. You tell me. That's not a defense that's going to win you much. It's not.
Here's my thoughts on the defense.
SEC team I've seen since Vanderbilt in 2017.
No, Mississippi State is the worst team I've ever seen in the Southeastern Conference.
It's up there with some of those Vandy. Well,
I think they're better. I think they're worse than the Vanderbilt teams.
The Vanderbilt teams couldn't even score QB. They could get a first down. They were so bad.
Well, Mississippi State probably ain't gonna score now with Blake Shapen out.
No, probably aren't.
This is from Leroy in Palm Coast in the Titan More text line. Says, do you guys know if there's any truth to Charlie Strong being in town over the weekend discussing being the interim coach? And I heard money was already being discussed. I have not heard that. I'm going to say it again, and this is just my belief. It doesn't matter if you had freaking Vince Lombardi come in to be the damn interim coach. Nothing is going to change, in my opinion. What can you can't change anything.
Well, I think the question is Billy going to be here? That's what he's really trying to say. He's trying to ask.
He is. Again, remember, people, if you make someone an interim coach, you're talking more money that the university has to spend.
I mean, they're going to end up
spending so much. What are you going to get out of that?
About that, QB. They're going to spend so much money just trying to change things. Who cares about the interim coach salary, QB? That doesn't matter. What matters?
It's going to be at least $1 million.
Okay, the buyout's going to be 26. The next coach.
So JC, you're a financial guy. Do you want to save $1 million or not?
Okay, fine. So keep them here. Keep them here for the rest of the year.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying. Okay, so let's just say we made Steve Spurrier the interim coach. Do you think anything's going to change?
No, I don't.
Okay, then don't waste $1 million. Is my point.
Keep Billy here. Let him.
Don't make. Okay, so you made my point, JC. You really need some core power.
QB, I got creatine and beta alanine and glutamine.
You need core power though if you want to get bigger, stronger, faster, JC. Core power.
I'm not. I'm a little bit older than a 20-year-old, but a little bit. But you're drinking
creatine. Your people your age should not be drinking creatine.
Why is that? Who says that? Is that right?
that is for young high school and college kids to build muscle mass.
I'm trying to get bigger.
Yeah. Make sure you don't go run because you'll pull a muscle.
I can't.
It's not,
by the way,
creatine's not great for you.
I've got arthroscopic knee surgery on the schedule. I'm going through
Oh,
that.
Lord.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
4
This
weeks.
is
You ever had that?
This is from.
Have you ever had that?
I have.
Well, how long
I
did
I had it 2 days after the Florida State game in 1991.
Oh, God.
All right, it says, can you give me an insight as to why Billy seems to not play his best players? If it's not the wide receivers doing this with the O-line and D-line, Big Dez played 27 snaps per Pro Football Focus, and some of those were third and long. What? That's more snaps than L.J. McCray and Justice Spoon. I have no idea. Can't answer that. Like I said, I've never been on a team. And it's not just Billy. There's other college teams that do this, and I think it's to try to keep people happy. Play your best players. Play your best players.
Always. It's great to see Aiden Mizell join the roster last weekend. I was happy to see that. Right? Isn't he somebody you've been talking about for 3 years? Or 4 or 5 or 6?
Two. He's only been here. This is year 2.
Whatever.
Yeah, for 2 years.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you've been harping on them. Let him get the ball in his hands. You've been harping on that.
Yeah.
You've been harping on that. And Aiden Mizell, and who's the other? Andy Jean's another one of your favorites?
He's always hurt. I kind of just gave up on him.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I don't need dudes that are hurt all the time.
No, I know. You got to have dependability. You got to have guys that you can depend on and trust. That's what betting on the Hard Rock is all about, QB. It's about who you can trust. Who do you trust when you bet? And so Army Sniper wants to know who's the NFL and NCAA parlay of the week. I'm working on that. Friday's the Peachland Dental Picks contest, Army Sniper. I'll give you the winner on Friday. I do better, it seems like, on the Hard Rock than I do on the Peachland Dental Pick because we just pick all the games, and there's a lot of games I don't play on the Hard Rock that we do on the Peachland Dental Pick. Yeah.
All right, so John says creatine is good for all ages. Maybe it is. Okay.
Thank you, John. Teach this guy something back here in the mountains of Tennessee or wherever the hell he's sitting. He's got the mountain air going through his head. Teach him. I just
know that the trainers used to tell me, creatine's got a lot of side effects.
Really?
No.
What is one of them?
I don't remember. I just remember I never took it. I never took it.
Well, maybe you should have taken it. You would have been, instead of 165 pounds, you might have been 185 pounds when you got hit by Brian Dawkins from the blind side. I mean, that might have helped you a little bit. I don't.
All right, JC, let's do a Peachland Dental. Don't we have college football tomorrow?
We do.
Peachland Dental picks.
Okay.
Who's playing?
Well, just a second here. We got a Thursday night game up in the Meadowlands. This is a game where you've got one team that had a great weekend last weekend and one team that was absolutely abysmal. With Dallas and New York, you would have thought it was the other way around. But Dallas is something like 9-1 against the Giants under Dak Prescott. They own the Giants, but the Giants sure did look good last weekend at Cleveland, and the Cowboys looked like crap. Offensively, that, of course, translated to very bad defense, where Baltimore ran it all over them. And it's a 5.5-point spread. And watching Dallas play, I'm taking the Giants with the points.
Well, I cannot believe you're doing that.
Well, I don't need to see it anymore. Sometimes you just say, okay, this is, like you say, this is what they are. The Giants, I don't know where they came from with this kid Neighbors is something else. All right. He's another one of these LSU receivers that is unbelievable. And he single-handedly helped them beat the Browns. That's what they've been missing, is a player like that. And Daniel Jones, he's not the best, but he can get the ball to you if you give him somebody who's open. And so Malik Neighbors is quite open quite a bit. And defenses will scheme against that, I'm sure. But Dallas right now can't scheme against anything. And I'm taking the 5.5. Now, that doesn't mean Dallas won't win the game. They may kick a field goal and win the game, QB.
Well, I was going to take the Giants, too, because I just knew Dallas is one of your 8,000 teams that you would take them. I just don't think Dallas is very good. I've never been a Dak Prescott guy. Nothing against him personally. I just don't think he's a great quarterback. And is he the highest paid quarterback in the league?
Highest paid ever of all time. In history.
That is ridiculous. But
why does Jerry do these things? Why does he do it? You tell me why.
Well, because I guess Dak's contract was up, but you won't be the highest paid after, if Lamar comes up. I mean, look, Pat Mahomes has to be coming up for a new contract, right?
I would think. Army and Temple is the college game. Now, Army, listen, they're a 14-point favorite. They're 3-0 in the AAC. Army can score. They can get the ball in the end zone. These are not games we typically pick, but since it's the only game on Thursday and I'm not here tomorrow, I'll take Army and lay to 14. I think they'll win by 20.
Who are they playing?
The Owls, Temple.
Oh, Temple's horrible.
The only game. Then we have 2 on Friday, and then we go on Saturday. And Army Sniper, I'm going to get you that. Or is it J&J Trucking that wants this parlay? I'll get it for you guys. I think it's J&J Trucking, actually. Excuse me. I'll get it for you, and we'll do this college NFL parlay. I hit a great same game.
Yeah.
parlay.
So I knew
Monday
that.
night.
I knew.
Monday night.
I got a lot of people chiming in now about the side effects. I couldn't remember what it was, but it puts stress on your kidneys. That's why I never messed around with it.
It does. Well, I drank a lot of water. Kidneys.
You got to drink
water.
a ton. They say that was what it was.
Oh, I don't like that. I might not be drinking this anymore then, since you said that.
Research it, JC. Research it before you put stuff in your body. You're like Will Greer.
I would be suspended from all activities. They fired Will Greer, and he was the best thing they had going for him. Poor Jim McElwain. That's what led to the end of Jim McElwain right there. They were 6-0 with Will Greer QB. You don't remember, do you?
I do. They beat Ole Miss. I remember that game.
They were unbelievable. Will Greer was a good player for the Gators. Nobody talks about him, but he was damn good, I thought.
All right, This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus
really
USA
good.
Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life at Campus USA Credit Union. 2005 President's Cup at the Robert Trent Jones Golf Club.
Okay.
I'm not sure which one that is. They played the President's Cup on the
There's a bunch of them.
on the trail in Alabama. So anyway,
That.
DeMarco, Jim Furyk, and Mickelson go unbeaten as the U.S. beats the international team 18.5 to 15.5.
Wow.
That's This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. The reason I brought that up is President Cup starts tomorrow.
President Cup starts tomorrow.
I don't really care about the President's Cup. Why is that?
Yeah, well, that's because it's not as hyped up. It's more than just Europe. It's the whole world against us, which is usually the case anyway. What I love is that all these guys that play on the President's Cup and all these guys, most of them anyway, that play for the Europeans on the Ryder Cup, all went to college here at the United States. It's hilarious. They're Americans, but they play for their little tiny country in Africa or Europe or wherever they're from. And then they come here, get educated, get their golf game together, and then go beat us in the Ryder Cup. So, that's man. Look, QB, when you're on the Hard Rock, you can do this. You can live in Greenland, or you can. Okay, that's Greenland. This is Iceland.
So make sure you show everybody both the wins and the losses.
Well, I just said I've been.
Don't be that guy.
I've been to Greenland and Iceland, so I had the Bengals on Monday night. Loser, dummy, but they should have.
And here you are talking about Jaden Daniels this, Jaden Daniels that, and you took the Bengals.
He's great. He's great. I made that determination after watching him, because I haven't seen him play this year, but I couldn't believe it. He had a coming out party. But the couple of wins that were in Greenland, Josh Allen over 1.5 touchdowns. You can make money on these prop bets too, folks. You can do these little player prop bets. When Josh Allen is out there over 1.5 touchdown passes, you might want to look at that. Same thing with guys like Pat Mahomes, over 1.5 touchdown passes. You can make money doing that kind of thing.
Okay, so Tony, who's one of our golf, he's a golf analyst on the program. We need like thousands of golf analysts. When I was talking about the Robert Trent Jones course, there's one in Gainesville, Virginia, where they just played the Solheim Cup. So I thought all the Robert Trent Jones courses were in the state of Alabama, but I guess I'm wrong.
Well, you only play one course your whole life, QB. So basically that's how it is for you.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I don't play any other courses.
You play one course. You play one course now. That's what you do. You play.
Well, JC, when you don't have time to go out of town during football season, you only play one golf course.
Yes, QB, that's right. Because your radio gig is 6 weeks out of the year. You have no time.
And you play one course only that's flatter than the Mississippi Delta that's slow greens and nothing breaks.
This is Gainesville. This is Gainesville, and it's not my fault that Club Corps doesn't want to change 35-year-old greens. What if UF didn't change their greens over the last 35 years? It'd be just as bad.
Well, here's what I would say to Gary Player. When you build a golf course, it's perfectly legal to put some like little mounds in a green.
Gary Player. I interviewed him that in the 90s when he was coming down here talking about this place. I don't think he had stepped a foot on this property for more than 10 minutes before that interview, by the way, and that was after it was built.
He must have been half asleep when he designed that golf course.
Well, remember, it's a retention pond basically through a bunch of housing complexes. It's not the big open space like at UF.
They didn't build the golf course first?
No. Hale Plantation has been here before the golf course. Yeah.
Not where those houses are.
No, like the early part of Hale Plantation.
But that had nothing to do with the damn golf course.
No, that didn't.
Yeah, let's just say it's a bad layout. Other than that, it's all good. Coy wants to hire Don Shula. He said Vince Lombardi would be his second choice for the interim coach.
Yeah, well, maybe they're up there talking about it. Hey, would you take the Florida job? I mean, I don't know. They're both up there eating at his steakhouse, probably talking about it. Vince is hitting some heaters right now, asking, can the Packers do it with Jordan Love? And this kid that came in, Malik Willis, what a great job he did for them too. All you Packer fans out there, they're everywhere. The Packer fans. Who's the best traveling fan base in the NFL, QB? You played in the NFL for 150 years. Who's the best traveling fan base? I think I have an idea.
It would be between Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's what I would have said. I think San Francisco and Dallas travel incredibly well, too.
Yeah, but not like those two.
What about the Eagles? The Eagles have a big
I mean, they'll show up down. A lot of those northern teams really show up in South Florida.
Yeah.
Or in Florida, I should say. But Pittsburgh and Green Bay there's nobody close to them.
Historically, the best. You're right. I agree with that. But right now, Detroit fans are taking over stadiums. They are taking over stadiums. And Denver fans travel. And Chief fans travel. It's incredible. And then you have fan bases that don't even show up at their home games, like the Rams fans and people like that. But the Rams left town for 20-something years. It's going to take a while, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but Green Bay and Pittsburgh fans are like
they're the best. Yeah.
And then in college football, in college sports, there's only one, in my opinion.
Well, LSU travels like
they travel like crazy, no matter the sport.
It's not just football. That's right.
Right. Like I told you, I went to the national championship for gymnastics.
There they were.
Fort Worth, Texas, where there's 8 teams there.
That
arena seats about 18,000. I bet there was 10,000 LSU people there.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
Well,
all right, JC, before we let you go,
all right.
Text on the Titan MR text line from Jimmy. He wants to know, I'd like to get y'all's thoughts on the press conference that Hugh Freeze had blaming his quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's throwing these guys under the bus, and it's all about. I don't know if you saw. Go on Bo Wallace's Twitter page. All right, go on Bo Wallace's Twitter page. He'll tell you about
Bo Wallace hates him.
Absolutely hates him. But he said, if I had a kid, I wouldn't send him to Hugh Freeze. And it's amazing because he does throw. It does seem like he doesn't seem to take a lot of responsibility off the player's shoulders. He seems to talk about the player a lot. And this bit about we would have beaten this team 9 out of 10 times, but I hope that Sam Pittman wins the rest of his games. He's such a creep, and that's Auburn for you, man. Auburn is just trash central, and that's what they hire, And so go 4-8, Auburn 5-7, and enjoy your life. Okay, that's what you got. Brian Harsin and Hugh Freeze have the exact Brian Harsin has a better record. Better record in the first 2 years at this point in his second year. Better record.
Yeah.
Auburn's a mess. They're
JC, somebody here is 77 years old, says they will wear you out in pickleball for your they'll play for your car keys.
I'm sorry, that poor 77-year-old doesn't know my pickleball background. But right now, with my torn meniscus, he might win a few points. Might.
This is from 252.
You know why I kill people at pickleball, QB? It's because when I play tennis at the net, I'm really, really good at the net. I'm not as good as on the baseline, but at the net, you can't get it by me. That's why pickleball, you'd have no chance. Even with I'd play on one leg and still probably beat him, but that's okay. Hey, he's 77, so he's
he says he'll play you for your car keys, so he must think he's pretty good.
I wouldn't mind getting rid of some of these cars, but yeah, he must be really good then. Good luck. No chance. But
all right, we'll have to set that up.
Set it up.
We'll have a loser leave town match.
Unless he's who I think it could be, and his wife's name is on the tennis court at Westside Park. If it's him, then I might not beat him. But it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. This text on the Titan Mar text line from 252. I don't know where that is. Shane, did Coach Steve Logan recruit you at Mississippi State in '88? Do you know him? Ever talk to him? I don't know him. I don't remember who recruited me from Mississippi State. I don't remember that far back. Speaking of that, did you see where Brett Favre has Parkinson's?
It's horrible. Just terrible news for Brett Favre. That's a bad one. We're getting older, QB. Getting old ain't for sissies, and it's tough. But that was hard to hear. I hated that. He was my very first television interview of all time in 1987 or 88, whenever his freshman year was at USM. I interviewed him before practice. Curly Hallman let me interview him before practice, and I couldn't say his name right, so he helped me with that. He helped me white balance my camera. He was a cool kid back then, and the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles beat everybody's tail in that season. And nobody knew who Brett Favre was, or Sheldon Gandy, or Curly Hallman for that matter. And that was wonderful in the late 80s. Brett Favre, first interview ever. Yeah.
Tanya Ron says on YouTube that you can't play at the net in pickleball, JC.
Oh, I know, but I'm talking about reflexes, brother. I'm talking about reaction time and that kind of thing. Anticipation. There's that word again. Anticipation. I know where you're going to hit it. Look, I beat the Jewish contingent in Long Island, New York, at the Nathan's Hot Dog Babylon, New York, Long Island tournament for Nassau County. You ain't beating me, bro. I'm just forget it. Okay, I might break your ankles playing pickleball because you'll be going left and right, not knowing where to go, what to do.
I have zero. I could care less about pickleball. I think it is so dumb.
It's taken over the world, QB.
I know, and I don't know why. I mean, it's. I just don't like it. I have no desire to play it because. I mean, I don't. It does nothing for me.
Well, it's just easier on your body than tennis,
right?
And that's.
But I'd rather go compete. I'd rather go compete against whoever.
I saw you play
golf.
Years ago. I saw maybe 10 years ago. I saw you actually play tennis against a friend of ours named Jeff, and I was stunned at your ability to play tennis without really having ever played tennis.
Yeah, so I mean it's a natural motion, but I have no desire to do that. Well, all right, before we get you out of here, JC, since we've been rambling all day, Camp wants to know.
That's what you do on a podcast, QB.
Yeah, Camp wants to know on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law. If the season ended today, who would be our top 3 Heisman finalists?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, most everybody's only played 4 games. I would throw Cam Ward in there, but I'd throw Jackson. I think Jackson Dart's had an unbelievable. Now they haven't played anybody. I get it, but I'm telling you, JC, watch him. Since you've learned about anticipation and accuracy,
yes,
go watch him throw the football.
I actually liked watching Lane Kiffin and his daughter on Twitter talking about what they're going to do during the day and if she's going to the game.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Dude, they don't make him like Lane Kiffin, and that's what you got to love.
I'm telling you, he is the modern day Coach Spurrier because those are the kind of goofy things Coach Spurrier wouldn't have. He still has a flip phone, okay,
right?
But he nobody takes jabs at people in the media like he took jabs. So that Lane does it through Twitter.
Yeah, Free Shoes University. I get it.
Yeah.
All
right, JC.
All right, man.
Go drink a lot of water so your kidneys don't screw up with your creatine. Go get your knee ice down.
I want to go work out now. I'm going to go do upper body work. All right, guys.
How many push-ups can you do, JC?
Like
real push-ups, not with your knees on the ground.
I use the bars. I go even below, right, like that. I do reps, so I don't do like 40 or 50 at one time. I like to do 5 reps of 15 and things like that. But don't worry, because this hurricane is going to blow through quickly. Hopefully, everybody will get through that with no problems. Got to watch out for those folks in the Panhandle. And then Friday, we're going to talk about this weekend's games, and it's going to be a good week.
They said here, pickleball is tennis for unathletic people.
Well, older people do. Look, it's good for older folks. It is.
But it's not.
You don't think so?
We're trying to get you out here. I know you got things to do. But I was talking to a couple of team docs in the last couple of weeks.
Good for you.
Well, just not team docs, but orthopedic doctors that play golf with me and things. Yeah. They said they have more injuries today from pickleball.
I think it's because of the old people that play. Dude, the old people get hurt more. Young people don't get hurt playing pickleball. Hell, I used to play it, like I said, long Suffolk and Nassau County, New York.
Yeah. All right. That's JC. Join us on the Titan Tomorrow hotline.
Hot dog. It was horrible.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back. I get to more of your texts and stuff. Appreciate y'all hanging in there with us today.
Yes,
You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills.
Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, Peachland Dental, QC Kinetics, Campus USA Credit Union, Dave & Buster's. Gridiron sponsors, CertaPro Painters, Comfort Temp, UF Bookstores, Quality Plumbing, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, F45. Our touchdown sponsors, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Aikido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Core Power, Baker's Sporting Goods, MG&A Wealth, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Nest and Wild, Palm Beach Autographs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Sonic Drive-In, Florida Victorious, Coca-Cola, Core Power, Electronics World.
If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Ruse Ogra State Farm offers a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ograinsurance.com. Give them a call, 352-240-1779. A couple of texts here on the Titan MR text line. This is from Zach and Jack. Says, Shane, what's the best round you ever had playing golf? Are you better now or when you were younger? I'm a 3.2 index right now. I shot 68 multiple times, probably 15 to 20 years ago when I was a member at the Gainesville Country Club out there several times. I was a lot better back then than I am now. I probably hit it about the same, I guess. I was just more consistent back in the day. My depth perception was better. I have to wear prescription sunglasses when I play, and I still don't feel comfortable wearing them. But I love golf. Love it. We got a lot of people here chiming in about pickleball today. It says J&J Trucker says pickleball is the new shuffleboard. Probably so. All right, Earl says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Whoever UF hires, they have to have some cockiness. A lot of it is appreciated. Enough Mr. Nice Guy. Get someone who will hold their staff and players accountable. I agree, Earl. I agree. So, yeah, but if you have not seen, if you're not on Twitter, maybe it's on TikTok. I don't know. I saw it on Twitter. Lane and his daughter, who's at Ole Miss, do a little thing. It's hilarious. It was good stuff, no doubt about it. Text on the Titan More text line. The funny thing is, JC is one of those old people. He is talking about getting injured. Isn't that so true? Yep, he is. He's having knee surgery. Florida Victorious, proud NIL partner of the Florida Gators, joined today to help make Florida victorious. Speaking of Florida victorious, I think, well, we'll talk about that another day. We don't have time to get into that right now. Kanye Ron says, is the hurricane heading to Tallahassee? I think it will go, looks like it's going through Tallahassee. So hopefully everybody in the way of this hurricane get out of town. No reason to hang out there, especially the people down on the coastline. The storm surge is what is going to be horrible. In Gainesville, I don't think it's going to be too bad. I looked at the weather today, like 30, 40 mile an hour winds, a little bit of rain, not too bad. Greg says, are we now arguing about greens? Greg, you obviously don't play golf. Greens are the most important part of a golf course. And the University of Florida Bostic Golf Course has as good a greens as you'll find in the country. They do a phenomenal job out there for sure. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll have Brent Beard, our college football analyst. Friday, we're going to have JC back, do our Peachland Dental picks. We're going to have Chris Harris from FloridaGators.com. Gator basketball started practice yesterday. You can see clips of some of their practices from different reporters on Twitter if you want to go check those out. But we'll have Chris give us his thoughts on first couple of days of Gator basketball practice. JB says, hunker down, Perry boys. Yeah, you guys get out of town. Get out of town. Van Der wants to know on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. QB, what is the longest run did you have as a pro? I bet on your answer. I think I had about a 19-yarder in the Metrodome against the Vikings, and I popped my hamstring as I was going out of bounds, believe it or not. I guess that's what you're asking. But it was a good run for me. The best run I ever had, though, was against the Georgia Bulldogs to seal the game on a quarterback draw. Corey says, if we hire an elite coach, will they even have the NIL resources to keep up with the top programs? Yes. If you hired, this is my belief, if there is a coaching change, which we don't know, but if they hire a big name guy, I think fans, boosters, whoever will be excited and will give. Just my personal opinion. Hope everybody enjoyed today's program. Appreciate you chiming in again. Please take care of you and your family and everything else with this hurricane. And we'll be here as long as we have power. Have a great day, folks, and take care.